بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تبارك وتعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله تعالى فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى، وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك اللهم على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. We continue inshallah ta'ala our explanation of Ryaad Assalihin, the meadows of the righteous, hadith number 6 of the gate or bab of the intention. And hadith is of Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu anhu. You remember Sa'd is ill and the Prophet ﷺ is visiting him, and the conversation takes place between the two. And Sa'd radiyallahu anhu is worried about a couple of things. He has a couple of concerns that he voices with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we got to the part where he's talking about the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him plenty of wealth, and he only has one daughter as an heir, and he's wondering what to do with his wealth. And if you remember, we said, subhanAllah, Sa'd is one of those people that migrated from Mecca to Medina, and when they got to Medina, they had nothing to their name. They lost everything in Mecca. But subhanAllah, how quickly did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replace them, replace their wealth as they left it all for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. من ترك شيئا لله عوضه الله خيرا منه. Whoever leaves something for the sake of Allah, Allah will replace him with that which is better. فقال لا يرثني إلا ابنة لي. Only have one daughter that is an heir. سبحان الله. أفأتصدق بثلثي مالي. Should I give the 2/3 of my wealth for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? قال صلى الله عليه وسلم لا. The Prophet said no. قلت, he said, I said الشطر. Should I give half then? And the Prophet said no. قلت بالثلث, 1/3 يا رسول الله. The Prophet said, الثلث والثلث كثير. 1/3 and 1/3 is too much. SubhanAllah. فالنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كما قال الناظم رحمه الله تعالى منعه من أن يتصدق بكل هذا المال، لأن سعدا كان في تلك الحال مريضا يخشى منه، مريضا مرضا يخشى منه الموت. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم prevented him from giving that much in charity because he was in an illness where there was a possibility he would die in it. SubhanAllah. So that particular situation, given the 2/3 or half of your wealth is too much, because when a person is in that situation, then there's a possibility that it will take a few hours or a few days, and that which used to belong to him actually ends up belonging to other people. So it's the rights of other people. And subhanAllah, so in that particular situation, it is rather too late for a person to give that much in charity, because there are other people that will end up owning that wealth. But subhanAllah, on the other hand, the ulama tell you that when a person is healthy and everything is normal, and there's no immediate fear of death for that particular person, then subhanAllah, he has the right to do as he pleases with his wealth. He can give for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as much as he wants. But subhanAllah, in this particular case, the Prophet ﷺ said a thuluth, one third is too much. This is a dalil, a proof. The scholars say that in that particular situation, someone wants to give charity for the sake of Allah, that it should be less than the 1/3. وهذا من ما قال ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال لو أن الناس ردوا من الثلث إلى الربع. If only people, because a lot of people when they heard this hadith, when they find themselves in that situation, then they will give the one third of their wealth for the sake of Allah Ta'ala. Ibn Abbas said if people will dial it down to the fourth, it'll be better for them, because the Prophet ﷺ clearly says the third and the 1/3 is too much. وكان رأي أبي بكر رضي الله عنه أن يعطى الخمس. Abu Bakr to say, that situation the person should give the 1/5. قال أرضى ما رضي الله لنفسه. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the time of the battles with the Prophet ﷺ, he clearly said in Surah Al-Anfal that the 1/5 of the spoils of war should be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, well, this is the number that we should adopt. This is the number that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala agreed upon. This is the number that we should adopt for ourselves as well, subhanAllah. So when you come, and of course we have to pay attention to one thing that is important, that which you give for the sake of Allah in this particular situation should not go to one of the heirs. In the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam يقول لا وصية لوارث. There should be no wasiyyah, no will for a rightful heir. Someone who is an heir, and he should not give him a wasiyyah. Whatever Allah Ta'ala has prescribed for him to get in the Quran, that's what he is supposed to get. ثم ذكر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال له يعني أعطاه العلة, give him the reason why he should not give that much. إنك إن تذر ورثتك أغنياء خير من أن تذرهم عالة يتكففون الناس. He said that you leave your heirs as self-sufficient or wealthy is better than leaving them عالة. What is عالة? What is a good translation for the word عالة? Yeah, let's look at wake you guys up.
Dependent on somebody.
Exactly. They're the burden of somebody else. They're dependent on somebody else. They're what's the other word? The word is like freeloaders. They live on subhanAllah, on somebody else's wealth. That's what ala is. Ala is a negative word. Someone who's ala in the Arab world, we use this word very negatively. Someone who is basically a loser. He said ala. He waits for other people to give him. He doesn't do anything for himself. So the Prophet ﷺ does not want that for the believers. He wants the believers to be strong and self-sufficient and not dependent on others. He only wants them to be dependent on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after doing the effort and taking the proper steps in taking care of themselves and taking care of their families. Subhanahu wa ta'ala, يتكففون الناس. Look at this verb. يتكففون. This is al-kaf. يتكففون الناس. Subhanallah. They extend their hands forward, asking people for help. This is not what the Prophet ﷺ wants for us. Granted, there always will be people who are destitute in this ummah. It is part of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decrees for people. But subhanallah, يعني المؤمن القوي خير عند الله تعالى وأحب إلى الله من المؤمن الضعيف وكلاهما خير. And the believer that is strong, not, the Prophet is not talking about muscles, but it's talking about a believer that is influential, that has his means, that he's the one that is in position to help others, is better in the eyes of Allah than someone that is seeking help, that is looking for help from others. And logic dictates that this person that is looking for help from others, that he's not put forth enough effort in his youth to find himself in that position. This is in general, that's what logic dictates, but there are, of course, exceptions. There are people that have worked hard, but it was a decree from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with His knowledge and His wisdom that they still should be in a tough financial situation. And then, subhanAllah, when you examine subhanAllah, some of these situations, you find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that person better than themselves, and Allah ta'ala knows with his knowledge of the unseen that sometimes the hardship or the test of wealth is a lot more dangerous for a person than the test of poverty. Some people wealth does not go along with them. We saw some examples even in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and after that, people that were in the masjid all the time, they were in constant worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened the door of wealth for them, then they completely changed. One example from the Quran is the example of Qarun. Qarun, subhanAllah, if you're familiar or not familiar with this person's story, it was said that he is the cousin of Musa alayhi salam. That's number one. And he had knowledge of the book. That's number two. And he had a beautiful voice by which he recited the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of the Torah. So three things. The close relationship to Musa alayhi salam, a blood relationship, the fact that he was knowledgeable, he had the knowledge of the deen, and he was someone that people love to listen to reciting the verses of the Torah. But subhanAllah, what happens to him? He was afflicted with the test of wealth. And it was not just any wealth, it was excessive wealth. That so much so that, subhanAllah, it was difficult for 10 strong men to carry the vault or the box that carried the keys for his treasures. SubhanAllah. Just think about it for a minute. It is excessive wealth. It's something that so much so that now in most of the Arab world, and I know where I come from, it's a measure. Qarun. This guy has the wealth of Qarun. To this day, people say it. So this man was given so much wealth, but subhanAllah, it changed him. The knowledge of the deen was no longer, and of course he was not. He was using that wealth to oppress his people, and of course, needless to say that he did not give any charity. So when people came to advise him, and they say, and subhanAllah, seek with the means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you the hereafter, that house in the hereafter. He didn't give for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with you. What did he say about his wealth? He did not attribute the wealth to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but says, إِنَّمَا أُوتِيتُهُ عَلَىٰ عِلْمٍ عِنْدِي. I got this wealth because of skills that I had, because of knowledge that I had, because of intelligence that I had, because of this, because of that. SubhanAllah, attributing the wealth to himself. Well, we all know that subhanAllah, the wealth is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from beginning to end. If you have intelligence, Allah ta'ala gave it to you. If you put in the effort, Allah ta'ala gave you the ability to do so. If you have skills, it is Allah ta'ala that allowed you to learn those skills. He's the one that taught you those skills, and so on and so forth. And subhanAllah, we should always attribute any kind of ni'mah. وَمَا بِكُم مِّن نِعْمَةٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. There's no bounty that you have except that it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Qarun has forgotten this, subhanAllah. This shows you a clear example of the test of wealth. And of course, an example of what happens to people of talaf, people that have excessive luxury. Very often they're spoken about in the Quran in a negative way, in a negative connotation, because subhanAllah, the majority of the time, you'll find that their wealth pushes them to oppressing. They oppress themselves first, and they oppress others. So Qarun was so oppressive to these people. Imagine you have, I want to give you an example so you can get the picture. All of you, alhamdulillah, are familiar with the story of Qarun. Imagine you are surrounded with people that are extremely hungry. They haven't eaten for a week, okay? So you prepare a buffet, and you put that buffet on wheels, and you parade it in the middle of the street, okay? With guards, with weapons, and these hungry people are looking at that buffet, they're smelling the food, but nobody allows them to come near it. This is what Qarun did. He's not given to his people. These people, the majority, because this is in the time of Fir'aun, they are in slavery and they are poor and destitute, and he comes out parading his wealth for everyone to see. His treasures are open for people to see his gold and his silver, and subhanAllah, his entourage, his guards are surrounding this so nobody comes near. Imagine do you see the picture? Subhanallah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says at the end of the day, فَخَسَفْنَا بِهِ وَبِدَارِهِ الْأَرْضِ. And subhanallah, يعني خَسَفْنَا بِهِ وَبِدَارِهِ. How is that? And subhanallah, you see that Qarun is outside parading all of this wealth and all this power. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala causes the earth to swallow him, swallow all of his treasure, and swallow his entourage, everyone that was helping him, subhanAllah. Everyone that is helping him is also implicated. Someone came to Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala, قال يا إمام لقد كنت أخيط أثواب الحجاج. قال له أنت كالحجاج. And all of you are familiar with the Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thuqafi, someone that killed over 90,000 Muslims in Iraq and around it. When he was made as the Amir, he killed a lot of people, subhanAllah. So someone came to Imam Shafi'i and said, I used to make the thobes, to sew the thobes of Al-Hajjaj. He said, you're just like him. You're just like him because you are helping him. Meaning that subhanAllah, someone who's an oppressive king or leader, and if he's about to use a pen to write the death sentence of someone, and it's an oppression, and you hand him that pen, you are implicated with him, and you have helped him in doing that. So the same thing with his entourage, they're all, subhanAllah, were swallowed, and people were able to see that, and then not only that, they can see his very big house in the horizon. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala causes the earth to swallow that as well, subhanAllah, to show us the aqibah, the outcome of someone that was tested with wealth and did not know how to handle it properly and did not attribute the wealth to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that if we're tested with wealth or poverty, to handle it the proper way. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make you and I from God thankful ones. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. الحمد لله رب العالمين وجزاكم الله خيرا.